What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video today. Today we're going to be talking about some more 3v3 offensive teams, more so just really important counters that have been coming in clutch for a lot of different people, and what I've been starting to use the last round or so now. So there's like really two teams that have been proven to be just super annoying to me, and they're GL teams. One's Jabba. I'll just kind of pull up the counter, or the team. It's Jabba with that new cron. I guess I can go back in here and show you guys that cron. It's the one with Bush Leia. It's just giving way more thermals out these days, and it just gives a lot more turn meter. If you have the level 6, if you have a specific level 6, it can give them, I believe it's when they hit 50% health, they get damage immunity. So this guy is just pretty annoying. I've been having some issues with it when I've been fighting them on defense. And then the other team would be Leia with her cron, or what really sucks sometimes is that Drogon cron. So those are really the two biggest teams I've been having an issue with. And there's a couple different counters and different ways to go about it that I hope will help you guys in GA. Today's video was supposed to be my Grand Arena in a video format, but I totally blew fat chunks. Like, it wasn't even close. This is kind of the reason why I want to do this video. I'm down like 1,000 points because I can't clear the front wall because of Jabba. And then I had an issue with my other counters. It just didn't work out. But my defense is good. It just really are these two teams. If I can figure out these two teams, I think I'll be doing way better in Grand Arena. And that's why I'm doing this video today. That's the whole purpose behind this video. So you guys know me. I like sitting in 3v3, usually more Galactic Legends. So I have 1 as C, I have 2 as Lord Vader, 3 JMK, and then 4th in the back wall is my JML. So that leaves me still a few. I don't have Leia unlocked yet, so I have to use some different counters. So this first one I'm going to show you guys is one that is a bit different, but I think this actually can come in super clutch if you guys want to set some more GLs on defense. This actually was theory crafted by Jayla, and I think that this has to be shown. It's super awesome. I mean, yeah, you're pulling a few different teams that are kind of important. One of which is the biggest one, I would say, is the Inquisitors, because you got to use that Reva leadership. But let's go into it. So Jayla, this is an awesome counter. This is versus that Drogon cron, like I was mentioning. And it's actually, I believe this is an ultimate Leia. And this is in 3v3, so we're using Reva lead, Star Killer, and Savage. This is my hot take, guys, in 3v3. I feel like SK is just basically not super awesome. Like, he's not used as much as he is in 5s. I have had no success, literally 0 success with my SK EP team against Rays. Like, it just hasn't happened. So here we go. Getting into it. Reva's big thing is her leadership. I believe it's either her leadership or her unique that gives out that death mark. And if we just back that up a little bit, just going to watch this back one more time. She gives the death mark whenever they try to cleanse. So that's just awesome. SK has some extra little bit of, I think it's counter chance in his unique. And also, SK's unique is working here because there is a Sith and there is an unaligned Force teacher. So he's being used pretty good here. One thing I like about this is that usually, like, you can kill with Inquisitors without any of these guys, just like a GI and like a 7th or 6th, what's her name? I think it's 7th sister. You can kill Drogon, like, usually no problem, but it's getting to R2 and then getting back to Leia finally is really hard to do when they have ultimate. So this one's nice because of right there, boom, he can use the mass, what is it, AoE that dispels, and that's awesome to get right to that R2D2. And when they die, they can't be revived because Deathmark does not allow revives. It prevents them. So this one, yeah, I know you're pulling a Savage, you're pulling a Reva, and you're pulling an SK. You guys know how I feel about SK in 3s now. I don't think he's super awesome unless you get some sweet use out of him like this. That EP SK Mara Jade is just not working for me against Rays right now. So I have to do a mirror match. But the only other person I think that kind of maybe sucks is that Reva. But if you can get this Reva team and this works to kill Leia's, then you can set a GI team on defense if you want, like a back wall. That's okay with me, honestly. And then as far as Savage goes, as far as he goes, I mean, he's usually just like on a defense with either my supreme leader, or sorry, my Sith Eternal Emperor, or he's with like some my like SK on defense. So I just want to say big shout out to Jayla because I think that counter is awesome. I don't have footage for any other counters, but you guys also can do something not super cheesy, but if you guys want a more secure win, that was, I felt like, a very secure win. But if you wanted to just do a trade, you can just keep your Jabba the Hutt for offenses and then just use him with that boost cron, which gives out tons of thermals, and use that to counter Leia. You can do that if you have good enough relics and mods. You can kill those teams sometimes even on auto. So that's one awesome thing if you want to use that, to do that. So that's kind of Leia. Yes, there is still that SLKR with Malicos, but I don't like that counter, guys. I think it's just not awesome. I'm trying to lean away from that and using either non-GL counters to some of these GL teams, or just something that's not as cost effective, right? Because I think Malicos with Kylo is kind of cost effective. Anyways, so that's kind of countering to Leia. In terms of Jabba right now, we in my last video went over that Dr. Afrocron, which gives a lot more bonus turns, and I think that's still a great one to use. But you have to have that correct level 6, otherwise it just won't work. Today in my Grand Arena, I attempted the Marin cheese, and I got so dang close. If the RNG was hitting other characters and not Marin, I think I would have won. But it's just really hard. I feel like that counter is just going to be completely shut down until this Datacron set is gone. So there's that. But what I've found to be pretty good against Jabba is either that like I said, that Dr. Afra, or since we're using a different counter for Leia, we can now use the Kylo Ren against the Jabba the Hutts. So there's a couple different ways in terms of a non-GL team to counter Jabba right now. I feel like your only option is going to be Dr. Afra. I haven't seen many successful attacks using SK. So you're kind of left with either a GL, like we're talking Master Kenobi, Kylo, or maybe a mirror match. I don't like the mirror match thing. I would just keep it simple with either Afra or Kylo. The biggest counter, though, between either Jabba or Leia is going to be Leia. If you have an opponent that has a Leia, then I would try doing that not super expensive counter with Reva, SK, and then Savage. And then you can keep both now a Supreme Leader Kylo plus a Jabba. You can do them either on offense or defense. So anyways, I think it's just a really important thing to kind of figure out and like what you want to do. If you guys have the correct crons, I wouldn't worry too much about this strategy. But if you're like me and you're down to GL Leia and you don't have the best crons, you kind of have to think a bit more through this. But it's not too bad. I mean, I feel like in GAC and 3s, you have a lot of potential to set more high volume defenses and just impactful and really annoying defenses and keeping some solid counters, and you'll do just fine. But yeah, this round, I just didn't work out for me because of that Jabba the Hutt. He's just been a pain in my butt lately, guys, and I've had a hard time countering him because I have to worry about Leia. If there was no Leia, I would be just fine, but there is Leia, and so it makes it a bit more difficult for me. Outside of some of those counters, I feel like there isn't really too much worth noting. Today we did get dropped Moff Gideon, that new one from the Conquest, and he will be kind of cool, but I don't see any immediate use for him. The crons, again, I would say is this Afra one and this Boosh Leia one. They're awesome. But yeah, that's kind of it for today's video, guys. It's kind of short and sweet. I'm trying to put out there some more informative counters to a Leia in 3v3 and also with Jabba the Hutt, because I've had some hard time countering that Jabba the Hutt with that cron, the Boosh Leia one, and it just has been one of those things that's just tying me down. So again, using kind of to review this, using that Reva lead with Starkiller plus Savage will get you a very easy win against those Leias with the Drogonkron plus Ultimate Leia. And then if you use that, you can now set either a Jabba or Kylo and then use one or the other to kill the other Jabba. Unless you have that Dr. Afrocron, then you can use that cron. I'll show you right here real quick. If you have the right cron, you can use this to counter Jabbas in 3s regardless of what cron they have. So you could potentially set both of those GLs, and then that would be awesome, honestly, if you can set more GLs. But basically, the idea in GAC is to set as many GLs as you can and have as many off counters as you can. And that's what we're trying to accomplish in today. But have fun with it, guys. 3v3 shouldn't be so sweaty, but it feels like it is to me. If you guys have any other cool counters that you guys know of down below in the comments, let me know. I would love to see them. But that's about it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Peace. Bye, guys.